Hey everyone, wanted to make a quick video on different rebind styles. For those of you who are wanting to learn how to rebind, you kind of have to decide on a style. So we're going to go through a few different styles. First one I'm going to talk about is kind of the traditional style. And let me show you this Allen. And I've got one of my rebinds and a Crossway. All bound different places. This one's bound in China. This one was bound in my home. And this one was bound in the UK by Ludlow. And the way this style works is the liner goes under this fold over. So the size of your cover is the size of your liner. And your cover wraps around the liner, so the actual size is dependent on your liner. So this liner, as you can see, it goes under that fold over, which there's a lip. You can see where it's folded over the edge. It's folded over and pasted onto the top of it. And the way this is done, it lends to, if you don't do enough yap, you can have problems with these pages touching this fold over. On this ESV1s, the ones I have, they are close, but they're good. We're okay. I tend to always do a minimum amount of yap on my Bibles to kind of prevent that from happening. This is the closest one that I did. And you can see here where it's pretty close. That fold over is close to the pages. This is a Cambridge turquoise, but I messed up this cover, so I decided to put it on my turquoise. So anyhow, you can see where I folded it over, and this is just the traditional method. If you watched my tutorial video on building a leather cover, you can kind of see the layout of this. This is one piece of leather, this liner all the way across, and it's all the way across one piece of leather, and the cover leather is laid face down and then folded over the edge. So that's how this one is built. So that's this style. One problem I had with this style is on these type, like these top grain from Crossway bound in China, see how it kind of overlaps? That fold over, even though that fold over is tiny, it overlaps it, and you can see where it's bent those page edges a little bit. So it's something to be aware of. I mean, it's not bad. It's just a little tiny bit on the end page. It gets a little dinged up. But it's just something to be aware of when you're choosing a rebinding style. It just depends on, some things about, making sure you have enough yap. If you're going to do a Bible that has no yap, I recommend this second style. Let me move these out of the way. This second style is a paste down style. This is a book by Leonard's, Rebind by Leonard's, but the only problem is you can see it creates this box around the cover because that's from the fold over, and the paste down actually goes over the fold over. Now this is a paper lined. Most of you guys that are doing rebinding will learn how to use a leather liner, but either way, now this one is not edge lined either, so the leather line would have an edge lining up onto the block. But this is a great design, especially if you're going to do semi yaps, small semi yaps, or no yap. This would actually probably be a better style than the traditional style. So it really depends on what you're looking for and how you're wanting to do it. But you can see the fold over for the cover is the cover's folded over onto itself, and then the paste down, whether it's paper or leather, is pasted over top of the cover all the way around. So whenever I do a liner replacement, this is what I have to do. I have to cut my liner material, and I put it directly over that fold over, and then I edge line it onto the block, and I do it one on both sides. So anyhow, that's a good style. That's the same style Ben's Bibles uses. I believe the Way uses that style. There's several that use that style. So and it's a good style. And if you're interested in this style, I don't teach this style. It's just not what I learned, and I'm not really good at it. So I would recommend you go Ben's Bibles on Etsy. He has got a link. He's selling a link to to his tutorial on YouTube. But I think you have to purchase the link, but it's well worth it if you want to learn this style. Ben gives you everything you need to know: the tools, the materials, advice, all those things to get started. So I recommend you go there. So that's that style. Another kind of cheap starter way to do it is like this style. This is a single column journaling Bible from Crossway, and basically it's the book block. It's the book block, and you could actually attach a cardstock to the book block, and then you'd paste this cardstock down to just a piece of leather. That's all it is. You have your top grain and your suede side, and you'd paste it down to the suede side, and as long as you don't glue the spine, you're okay. So just don't glue the spine, glue the front and the back, and you got yourself a new leather bound Bible. But you're not going to have the benefit of the cool corners, and it's not going to last as long, because you can see the more you use it, you'll start peeling it away and those things. So that's another kind of cheaper way to do it, to get started. And then I guess last but not least, this is one of my favorite Bibles, and I used a mess out of it. And it's a legacy rebound by Francisco Guerrero, and he uses a different style. I think it's the same style as AA Leathers, and there's a few others that use this style, but it's where the liner and the cover fold over meet. One doesn't overlap the other. They meet, and it's a nice style because you can do full yap, you can do semi yap, because there's no hangover, there's no overhang, there's no potential for that box, because they meet together. The only few kind of things you might want to consider is you're a little bit limited on thicknesses of leather, because technically you would want the thickness of your liner to match the thickness of your cover, so that whenever you're folding it over and then you're filling in, you got to measure and cut out this leather for your liner, so it fits. They need to, I guess they probably need to meet, or they need to be smooth, so they have to be about the same thickness. So that's just something to think about. Also, when you use this style a lot, at least from my experience, and I probably could have sent this back to Francisco, but I figure I could probably fix it myself. When you use this style a lot, normally these come and the seam is together and whatnot, but as you use it, you can see where it's starting to pull apart in some places, and that could be unnerving for you. That could be unnerving for you. So it's just something to think about. You can see where those are coming apart right there. Now I could continue to try to glue that together. It's just a really fine little gap or a little seam that is just something that is there. With this style, when you do one where they meet up together, you're going to have that. So anyhow, that's another style. I think that style might be a little more difficult, but hopefully that was helpful. Maybe that helps you decide on what style to use. God bless and take care.